Whether you like it or not, we are facing an election next year. And as you probably know, the economy and how people are doing is one of those big issues, totally separate from some of the other stuff we've been talking about, including authoritarianism and coups. There is the question of how your job life is going, whether it's easy to get another one. Do you feel stressed? And how are the stocks doing? How's your retirement? This is all standard campaign stuff. And if you look at Trump, as far back as, say, 2019, one of his big bets as a then incumbent president was people trust the Republicans more to keep taxes low, and there's some evidence for that. And then he would do a doomsday thing about how if Biden got in charge, well, it'd be bad for the economy, a prediction that's proved to be wrong.
If he's elected, the stock market will crash.
That bell marks a new record high for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, going to close above 37,000 for the first time ever.
There it is. Not exactly a stock market crash. Now, the markets change. They go back and forth, sometimes in ways people don't even know. But we can tell you the Dow's hitting record highs this week, then went up again today. Part of the reason is that inflation is slowing. That's macroeconomic. No one politician can take credit for that, but it's certainly good news, and it's not what Trump predicted. Meanwhile, there has been a jobs surge, unemployment falling below 4% to near historic lows. You look at that chart there, that is great news for any incumbent president, and the incumbent happens to be Joe Biden right now. The U.S. has added 14 million jobs, and it's not apples to apples because of the pandemic, but it is not even close if you were comparing the two. Trump stuck down at about 6 million. And remember, nothing about this is automatic because a lot of people and economists had been predicting that this year, right now, I would be on the news talking to you about a recession.
Now, I'm suggesting that there's a very high risk, probably 65% or better, of a recession next year.
Likely headed to a recession towards the end of this year, start of 2024.
Economists are now saying that the U.S. will enter a recession within the next year.
There is an extremely elevated chance of recession. And if you had to place your money, I bet that within 12 months, the economy is in downturn.
Now, we haven't seen the recession yet. And again, I'm not here trying to tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. Those pundits did and didn't bear out yet. But we can't really look in any crystal ball and know what's going to happen. On the political side, though, we know that even the fear or the talk of negative financial and economic information makes people nervous. It's fear-based. And some of those people were just given their expertise. But on the right, we've also seen an effort to fan the flames of this to try to override the good news that the Biden White House is touting. Now, here's how the Times puts it. Quote, "It's too soon to declare victory, but the economic outlook is sunnier than it looked a year ago. Many economists now predicting a surprising win." So that's what's going on out there. We like to begin with the evidence and facts for you. So that's just what's been happening. But is the economy strong? In the political domain, we hear a lot of different things. Indeed, I'm not just hanging this on the Beltway, which has all of its shortcomings. You also can see the debate raging among general Americans around the country where, depending on where you live and what you're up against, the economy might not be good yet, or the Biden beating inflation narrative doesn't mean that your life and the food on your table and the job market you're looking at is good enough. So if you check one of the things people use the most to talk these days, TikTok, here's what you hear.
I know you're not tripping. You're asking me, why do I want Biden as president again? Jobs created 13.2 million, unemployment down to 3.5.
Some change.
Sure.
You didn't put anything in there.
Yes, I did. I put hope in there. Hope.
Biden's economic policies have been a disaster for our country.
Bidenomics just works. The November jobs report just came out, and the United States, under President Biden's leadership, saw a gain of 199,000 jobs.
So those are actual real people, best we can tell, having the debate. And it goes to something that we're seeing out here, which is a wider gap perhaps than usual. The AP says that the economy is getting stronger, but voters feel, quote, horrible about it. And many Americans will even say that their personal finances are actually decent, but when they are asked about the broader economy, they still say it's bad. Axios has a report on that. Now, our colleague here at MSNBC, Chris Hayes, was reporting on the same issue here, this gap between what we can understand about economic data, even with the caveats that it's complex, and how everyone is feeling.
You can see it here on this chart. You see how the blue line, how you'd expect people would feel about economic numbers, and the red line, how they actually feel, have usually been in sync, right? Like when things get worse, people feel worse. When they get better, people feel better. Right now, there's a huge gulf between them. That gulf, it is worth noting, does not exist in similar wealthy countries like France and Germany and the UK. It's only here, even though we're doing a lot better than those places.
Chris Hayes making a very fair point there with the data and the gap. And as our friend Marvin Gaye said, what's going on? Well, and I'm sorry that the story ends this way, but again, we're just charting this out. If this isn't happening in other Western democracies, if it's not happening in other places that don't have, well, this kind of right-wing echo chamber and this kind of Fox News, that could be a big factor, which is facing what I showed you, that Trump's predictions didn't come true, that inflation did drop, that the job market did surge, that the Wall Street rally is happening this week. Excuse me. So dramatic, I'm losing my voice. The Wall Street rally is happening this week. Amidst all that, well, you can't deal with that, so you might have to just lie about it or spin it or have a relentless conservative onslaught suggesting there's something wrong with Bidenomics.
Between his endless, reckless spending and soaring inflation, Bidenomics is crippling our economy.
Biden is America's, torn Achilles heel because we've just seen disastrous results.
When it comes to economics, President Biden is like a hog on ice.
Their agenda that she's referencing can be summed up in the acronym SPD: scarcity, poverty, and depravity.
Inflation loves President Biden like the devil loves sin.
Okay. What's going on there? Those are clips, and if you keep your sanity in your context, they might be risible, laughable. But what if that's what you watch for hours on end, for months on end, for years on end, to the point that even when your 401k might go up a little bit, and that doesn't fix everything, or the job market improves, and that doesn't fix everything, you see that so much, you don't even notice those other data points.